Hello, welcome. Hope you're having a great day today. I'm doing well. Thanks for joining me. Court is back in session with your guy, Jonathan Mathis, the sports judge. Make sure you support the channel by hitting the subscribe button. If you're watching on TikTok, please click follow for great sports content. Welcome in to Speaking with Judgment. Man, how about those Denver Nuggets? Reminding everybody that, hey, we're still here. We are still here. And we are just as good as anybody in the West. And the hero, once again, was Aaron Gordon. His winning three with 2.8 seconds left sends Nuggets past the Thunder in Game 1. To see the way Nikola Jokic has played, he just continues to look like one of the most dominant centers in the league. And I think that when you look at all the criticisms that you would have for OKC, I would acknowledge that the team they're facing, the Nuggets, have that championship pedigree. Everything they do eventually follows into winning form. So right now, as we sit here looking at the Denver Nuggets, we have to say this. Been there, done that. They know exactly what it takes to win during the playoffs. Experience is required. A young and inexperienced OKC team versus a veteran, seasoned, championship-winning team that features a bevy of players who know how to win. I mean, good luck. I go back and look at that. I don't understand anything OKC did in the final minutes. Not great execution down the stretch. The team with the best record in its conference is met with some skepticism as they face a Denver team that's like, we've done this before. Let me show you how it's done, kids. Learn from us. Maybe next year, will be your year. It's that maybe next year kind of deal. It was just like kind of going through the motion in the closing minutes of that game. Foul and make free throws, foul and make free throws. And then at some point, we're just dribbling it out. And I knew if you're an OKC fan, you've almost certainly had to prepare yourself for nights like this. Nobody wants to admit it, but young and inexperienced teams make mistakes. This was bound to happen, as you saw in Game 1 of the second round. That place was buzzing. You can feel the electricity in the building. And then the Nuggets, being the team that they are, muted OKC fans. The Thunder made the mistake of fouling up 3, a little crazy twist in the game. I gave their coach a lot of credit because he took accountability. OKC's coach, he had no problem owning up to it and said it was on him. The players executed. That is our culture. We like doing that. We probably started too early. My bad. That's on me. By the way, every coach has a philosophy and a game plan they want to execute, and obviously his players are willing to budge on. The youngest team in the league, the coach is supposed to be the adult in the room. That was not the case. That was elementary level clock management. The bottom line is you got out coached by an interim coach who looks like the cover boy featuring on the front of the iconic Mad magazine. The reality is you see this from OKC in a playoff game, and strangely, it's at home in Game 1, but it's against a Nuggets team that can capitalize on your blunders and terrible late game decisions. In situations like that, Denver 90% of the time is going to beat you. The super young OKC squad is no question, good and talented, a fun group to watch, but the youth of OKC showed its face late in game one. Those quick fouls hurt badly. And they're going to have these nights, and if we see more of this, they can easily lose to the Nuggets, who have oddly embraced the underdog role. Their season could come to an end against the Denver Nuggets. It was a lot going on with this Denver Nuggets team throughout the season. I think with everything that has happened lately, Denver hit a light switch, came together, because during a tough stretch, the best teams don't pull away, they pull together. There's been a lot of adversity and challenges along the way. They got crushed for firing their head coach, Mike Malone, a week before the playoffs, which left everyone shocked. And they've responded by winning a Game 7 against a Clippers team people thought could win it all. Then come into one of the loudest buildings and beat the best team in the league on their home floor in game one. A lot of people, I felt like, had this team to come out of the West based on what they did during the regular season. But as we know, the playoffs are a different beast. And I've said before, OKC remind me a lot of last year's Celtics team, a team some just don't believe in, not fully sold. It's a believe it when I see it kind of thing when we bring up OKC. They're unproven, but so were the 2015 Golden State Warriors, and what did everybody say? People said they were too young, not ready, inexperienced. But that Warriors team featuring a young Steph killed that narrative. And boom, you had a dynasty. The same questions now surround OKC. And here's their test against the Denver Nuggets. Can their youth outpace and outlast the experience and pedigree Denver showed in game one? I wondered what would have happened in that game if they didn't foul their up 3 with 12 seconds left. And for context, the Nuggets had no timeouts, and Nikola Jokic was not in the game. He's waiting at the scores table. Denver has the ball by 12 seconds. The clock is ticking. If they elected, no. We don't want to foul here because the Nuggets statistically are a terrible team when Jokic is not on the floor. OKC's coach philosophy was we foul up 3. We shouldn't have fouled that early, and definitely not in the backcourt. Legitimately fouling up 3 with 12 seconds with Jokic off the floor, what are you doing? What are you thinking? In that situation, you let Denver dribble the ball and burn some time. Take some time off the clock. That was a weird strategy. Terrible decision to, foul immediately up 3. You can let Jokic back in the game. You don't want to do that. You don't want to let Jokic back in the game, man. We're calling it a weird and terrible decision, but if Chet Holmgren hits free throws, then we're not having this conversation right now. I got to tell you, Russell Westbrook making that pass to Aaron Gordon in Oklahoma City in front of the crowd that gave him a standing ovation as he checked in, for him to pass up attacking the basket for the game-winning shot. Instead, he was unselfish, passing it to Aaron Gordon, and Gordon hits the game-winning 3. Amazing. And just think, back when the Nuggets acquired Aaron Gordon, few people were like, that's not going to get it done. That's not really going to put them over the top. And now what we're watching is a glue guy who clearly was the missing piece. How good is Aaron Gordon? I'll say probably as good as a lot of third guys in this league. He's been amazing, particularly in the prior series and now in this series. When you have a center as good as Jokic, though, who very often makes Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon or players like them a lot better, you're going to get the best out of guys like Aaron Gordon. This is now one game against OKC. They have to go through a champion. The Thunder have to beat the Denver Nuggets. Chet Holmgren, you're great. Your defense is top notch, but you look awfully thin against that Joker guy. This is going to be a long series, and if OKC is going to make a ton of mistakes in this series, then this series might be over. Because the Denver Nuggets know how to win a 7-game series. Dave showed it. And wouldn't it be something if we get a Warriors and Nuggets conference finals? I mean, I know it's only one game. I know you can't base a lot on one game, but we're seeing what's happening here. And Aaron Gordon, man, I mean, he's been a treasure for this team. He makes plays at the right time. You know, you lob it up to him, most likely he's going to give you a dunk contest. An amazing guy, right? And Jokic, we all know what he can do with his incredible footwork and his ability to manipulate defenses, get the mismatches he wants, you know, knock down that pretty jump shot of his. You know, this Nuggets team, man, they have gotten better in recent weeks, and I feel like we're seeing a team that is peaking at the right time. A lot of us picked OKC. I did as well. But I'm just saying, the Nuggets have come to play. They're saying, not so fast. We're here too. And we can beat this OKC team. Because, for one, experience always wins in the NBA playoffs. And that's what you saw in Game 1. All right, everybody, that's all I have for you today. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining me and checking out the content. I really appreciate y'all. Much love. I have more great content for you guys today. There's a lot to get into. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot of NBA playoffs going on. We got to get into that Indiana Pacers game last night. Donovan Mitchell's team is down 0-2. Donovan Mitchell-led teams don't do well in the playoffs for whatever reason. We'll get into that. We got to talk about the Warriors still in Game 1, winning Game 1 against the Minnesota Timberwolves. We'll get into that. What's up, Ant-Man? What you got to say? What's going to be your response in Game 2? But guys, I'm checking out now. Thanks for watching again. Hope to hear from you guys again very soon. Enjoy the rest of your day.